Now the legs are the most unique part of this footstool, and one of the hardest things about this is actually making the leg, both in real life and here on Inventor. So first off, let me show you what it starts like. So I'm going to suppress some features here. Yeah, I'm sure you guys saw a little clip of that. Here we go. It starts off pretty humble. Alright, and this is what we're going to take dimensions off of and go ahead and create. We have a mortise joint on the inside corners here and here. They go in, actually I'm not sure how far they do go in. I think it's about 3/4 of an inch. Let's see if I can get it to rotate. It doesn't like that. Let's go to inspect, distance in here. It's 1 1/8, 1.125. So let's look back at the drawing view. Okay, this is going to be 10 inches long, and it is 2.25 square. So 10, 2.25, 2.25. Let's start off with that. So let's go new, part, sketch, here. '10, tab, 2.25, enter. And then let's extrude this out to be another 2.25. Alright, so we have this leg here. It's just a block of wood. It's actually going to be 3 blocks of wood. So this isn't exactly how you would make it in real life, but it's pretty close. Let's go and make a new sketch here on the top. And we will take a chunk off of here. And a little chunk off of here. These bits are both going to be 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75. Oop, missed it. There we go. And it's going to go all the way over. So that means that this little inside bit here is going to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and it is going to be square. I could show you, but I don't think it's really necessary. I'm going to do it anyway. Look, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Cool. So we're going to cut, remove stuff from both of those, and we're going to take 2.5 inches off. 2.5. Okay. This corner and this other face is going to be flat as far as it's not open on this end. We're going to make a new sketch, and we're going to take this. We'd use a mortiser on this. It's a special machine that makes a square hole, so that's kind of cool. We want that hole to be a hole 1 13/16 long. It is going to be 3/8 of an inch wide. And then we need to know where it's located. So these are both size dimensions. For location dimensions, this is going to be 1/2 inch from the top here. Make this 0.5. And it is from this open edge, see how it's open here? It is going to be 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and we are going to cut into this 1.125, 1 1/8 of an inch. We'll do the exact same thing here on this side. And these are the two sides that they're both flat. Alright, so same kind of thing, 2-point rectangle. This is our mortise joint. We know that it's supposed to be, how long is this? 1 13/16. For the width of the hole, it's 3/8. And then the same thing as before, we just have to have location dimensions. So away from this open edge is 3/8, and from the top down is a 1/2 inch. So two sides are the same. And we are going to be removing material from this again, and it's 1 1/4, so that's still good. This is the easiest part of the leg, and this is how you would prep your material before you start taking it over to the bandsaw. Better make this birch so it matches everything else. Cool. Alright, so now let me show you what's actually happening here. There's a sketch that I hid because it's scary. Again, in shop class, you are going to have a stencil, a pattern that you can just put on the side of your wood and sketch it out. Here we don't have that. So here I've shown you how you can dimension a spline. And a spline, you might remember, it's one of those really curvy things where I had to put in a bunch of points along the way. So this is what you need, and we're only going to do this for the leg. And fortunately for you, I measured this all out for you. I'm not going to make you measure it. When you go to make this sketch though, make sure your drawing looks like this, otherwise you're going to be lost. Okay, we're just going to start putting in points and dimensioning them. So I know that I have a point somewhere on here, and you know what, that's not one that's on my paper, but I have on my leg on this side. Let's just double click on this sketch here. That is 9/32 up. Okay, and now all the other ones are going to be pretty easy because I have them on my paper. I'm going to put another one, snap it to this bottom line. We're going to use this as a datum, or use this as a datum for a lot of our measurements. We're going to make this one 1 inch over. Alright, and now we're just going to put points in along the curve. So I know I want this one to be up height of 5/8 and over a distance of 1 3/4. I'll put in another point. I'm not going to be too specific with where they're placed initially, but I want the heights to be accurate. So the next one over is going to be 19/32 high. And just double checking, did I type that in right? 5/8. Let's make that 5/16 instead. I think that's a typo. That looks better. Alright. And that needs to be 2 7/16. Go back to your point. This one is going to be 25/32 tall. And it's going to be over a distance of 3 7/32. Put in another point here. We are going to have the height of this be 13/32. And that doesn't seem right. Let's make that think it's actually 1 and 3/32. That seems much better. Okay, and then the distance from this side, where did that go? 3 and 15/16. That's the peak, that's the tallest point. Let me just double check our drawing over here. We had 3 and 15/16. The height of this, no, 0.813. 13/16, 0.813. I did have that. Oh, I had 30 seconds instead of 16ths. That's why. 3 and 13/16 tall. Alright, that's the highest point. Let's keep going over here. It's going to start going back down again. So, I keep the same datum, but I think I'm going to drag it off to the other side because it's going to look better over here. Okay, this is 11/16 tall. And the distance from this edge is 5 and 15/16. And then I have another one here. It's exactly 6. And 0.25. And that's going to be just about it for this side of things. There's going to be one more point that's going to be on this line. And we'll just put it over here somewhere. This is actually supposed to be 5 and 5/16, not 15/16. That'll make that look a little nicer so it curves over. Okay. I think this is actually supposed to be 6 1/4 out. Let's do that. 6.25. Cool. Done. So that's the bottom curve. And there's more. I'll put a point up here. Distance from the side is going to be 1 and 25/32. We'll have a new point somewhere over here. Use the same datum. This is up a distance of, or I'm sorry, over a distance of 7/8. Use the same datum. It's a 1 and 31/32, so it's almost 2. One and 15/16 from the edge. We have 1 and 1/32. Another point over here somewhere. Dimension it out. 1 and 11/16 from your other datum is going to be 1 and 17/32. Another point. I might just skip a few here. Let's go, no, we still need more. Alright, so the height of this, last one we had was 11/16, so the next one is 1 and 19/32. Distance over on that, 2 and 1/32. New point.